Welcome to part two, Cheifin with the Chief. And I got a first responder in here, Moni G. You the next contestant on Cheifin with the Chief. Come on in, come on in. Let's get it popping. California in the building. California. And the G didn't come up. Let's see the next one. Ari Berry 94. That look like that's my girl. Right now, I sent you the request, and you the next one up on Cheifin with the Chief.
Hey, Uncle Rod.
What's going on, sweetie? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. What's going on with you?
Um, Honestly, right now I was in the middle of cooking, so I'm trying to get that like situated. Um,
Okay, so what you want to talk about today?
so today, I really just had like questions about kind of like I guess it could be like the ancestral realm or whatever. But most of my questions was like when you was talking to the one lady earlier about like when she has contact with her relatives that have passed on, um like how like that disincarnate like being, you can't always see them but like you can kind of see that they're there and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, um like with your mind's eye. So like boom, when I was, I don't know even how old I was, but I was like a really young kid, um and I had like this instance where like I seen this like big like dark like figure in like my hallway, because I used to sleep in the bed with my mom when it was just like me and her before my siblings and stuff. So like at night she used to put like on like movies and stuff for me to like fall asleep to. But I don't know, I've always been like a night owl. So like I always would just stay up like after she would go to sleep and I would just be up. So this one particular night I just like looked over into the hallway and that's when like I seen like the figure, and it didn't do anything or like say anything, but as a kid I had to be like 3 or 4, because I remember just thinking as a kid like when I seen it like, oh snap, that's my dad, because that's what it looked like the shape and everything, it looked like my dad. So I was just like, oh snap, like I'm supposed to be asleep, and I remember like I just laid down. But whatever, like time went on. And then as I got a little bit older, I never had like my grandfathers around, but I always would ask about them. And I learned that like my dad's dad had transitioned very early. I think my dad was like 3 or 4 when he passed. So like when they were telling me, and I was like a little bit older than that instance had happened, but I was still kind of young. And I remember when they told me, like they were showing me pictures of him, like the first thing that like came into my mind was like,
They show you pictures of.
oh, my grandfather.
Okay.
And my grandfather literally looks like my dad's like twin. Like it's so crazy, but they literally look like twins. So like when they were showing me like pictures of him, I'm like, oh snap, like that looks like what I seen in the hallway. But like I never told anybody that. Like I've never told really anybody about that, because like I've talked to you before, like about my family. Like they don't really play that type of stuff. They gonna pray it out of you. So like I always like will kind of keep stuff like that to myself. And as I got older, I feel like I've just kind of like almost done it to myself, but I've kind of lost the ability, kind of like to see stuff like that. But I always still can feel it. So like even like in my adult life, like I live by myself now, but like once I moved by myself, like when I first started living here, like I used to like, I don't know, like I could just feel that like there was another presence, and I would have stuff like that as a kid happen when I would tell like my mom or tell
And you
like
think it's
my
gone now?
it's not really gone, but the ability to see it, I guess. Like, cause as a kid, when I would like tell them like it's something in the room with me, like to me, I could like see it, and it felt like there really was like another like person or something there, and they were just like, as a kid, like it's just the dark or like you're just whatever. So like they would just tell me like to say your prayers, all that type of stuff. So like I feel like as I got older, I just tried to like rationalize it more. But there would still be like just random instances, even in my adult life now, where I'm like, I can't rationalize like the feeling that I have. And then like it made me think of what you were telling the lady that like we can't always see it with our like eyes in the 3D, but your mind's eye can still see it.
Yeah.
So like I guess my question was more so like with the being that I feel like is my grandfather, what do you think is like the advice if you feel like the energy isn't like good or like isn't like neutral? Like, because I guess to preface that, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. But to preface that, the only other person I've told about like that instance with that figure was this girl that had given me a reading. She was like a family friend, and this was a few years ago. But I remember like telling her that, and I just asked her like, "What you like? What is that?" And like I don't know, her reaction kind of had scared me a little bit, but
Okay, okay,
she,
okay. Slow down, slow down. Now you're starting to be all over the place. Come,
I'm
bring it back,
sorry.
bring it back, bring it back. I don't care about your friend. Go back to the question that you was finna tell me that your friend took you off of.
Okay, well I guess the question really is like, how do you know if like you can't see these things? How do you know like if they're good or bad, and like what to do about
Okay,
that? Like,
first of all, the only thing bad is what you say is bad. First, if it's your grandfather, he ain't come to do nothing but look out for you.
right,
9 out of 10. The only thing that you got to worry about of him watching over you is what was his vices, because those are your weaknesses. Other than that, and then as soon as you conquer those weaknesses, you clean up his karma because you didn't live it out. You conquered his demons for him. But other than that, it ain't no demon with no horns coming out the ground. Demons. The
right,
demons is those things that's negative energy that somebody in your family couldn't conquer. So they passed it down for one of the descendants to conquer. That's the demon. The daemon. It's a thought form that needs to be slain. It's an egregore in the family's collective consciousness that somebody in this life has to tap in to be influenced by that elder ancestor, but they have to be strong enough not to fall for their shenanigans. And the only place you can find that strength is in pure love. That means ain't no judgment left. Damn, my uncle was a rotten motherfucker, but that was my uncle. And I ain't gonna do the shit that he did and made him rotten either. Right? So the understanding the faculty of the ability to see them and communicate with them is determined by how well you understand it. Because you can't control what you don't understand,
right,
right? The more you can understand it, the more control you have. The more control you have, the more access, right? You might give your child a trust fund, but we say, here, first we're going to give you $20,000 when you turn 20 to see how you can handle money. Then, if you handle that well, that's going to unlock at 21 another $500,000, right? He's graduating through the understanding of the money that he didn't understand before he started using it. It's the same with the faculties of the higher senses. And it's the tools that we given to break generational curses. Study yourself and you'll answer all of the secrets of the universe for you. Because you're the secret of the universe that you keep a secret from yourself. So Whatever psychic ability you have, the more you are aware that you have it, the more you'll see it. The more you use it, the more you develop the talent, the skill. And because you've used it so many past lives, once you get it, you got it. They can't take it away. And it won't stop. Because once this, like Dick Gregory say, once the universe put these glasses on you, ain't no taking them mofos
Taking
off.
them off.
Yeah. Focus the mind. Practice your whole thought process being reduced to one statement or question or sentence. You're thinking in the whole book at one time. So when you try to get a clear thought across, you reading the whole book at the same time, all the pages. You got to learn to read one page at a time so that your communication is clearer and it's unlocking the superpower. That's the tool. So it's the training of the mind on how to use the mind that gives you more control of the mind. The more you have control of the mind, the easier and clearer you can communicate with spirit. Once you can clearly communicate with the spirit, you become a translator for the ones who can't. And a coach, once you understand it at a high enough level, a coach for you to for help other people tap into the skill set by telling them what I just told you. You don't know that you psychic until you know you psychic.
Right.
And then as soon as you realize you psychic, you say, I knew that,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
like some people have to learn how to dribble a basketball, but some people is born with the dexterity. If they see somebody dribbling the ball, now they know how to dribble the ball. They seen it one time. That's rare, but it's there, right? And because they use the faculty in past lives. So in this life, anything that requires that faculty comes with ease. You just have to train the man. It's not really training the man because the Sako mom gonna do what it want to do. It's just that you have to learn what it's doing in order to focus it. And the only way to do that is for you to write your own codex. It's your tool to translate what spirits say in terms you understand because now you can give an expression to the feeling. Got it?
I got
Wanna be starting something. Got to be starting
it.
something.
That's so funny too because oh my gosh, my grandma always used to like that was her husband, the one that had passed away, and like she always used to say like me and my brothers be reminding her of him because like I really used to love like Michael Jackson so bad when I was a kid, but like we always just be like singing and dancing and stuff, and she'd be saying like that's literally like how he was, like he was just like a really sweet, like happy, like kind man. So that's funny.
They've been loving our hair textures in here. We've been getting 90 to love all through the comments.
I was about to say people always like give me compliments and stuff on my hair, and like I don't know, I guess because it's my hair, like I just
That's
be
the
like,
first thing I said to you first time we talked. I like your hair. I
yeah.
like your afro. Black girl magic on deck.
What you be saying? I put that shit on everything.
Yeah, black girl magic. I put that shit on everything. Yeah. Okay, sweetie, I'm gonna let somebody else come up now. Okay.
All right, Uncle Rob, be safe.
All right, sweetie. Chief, why not the God? This one gonna be hard, y'all, because we be having conversations sometime, and before we know it, a whole hour beating past, and I don't even know if we got a whole hour.
Yo, peace to the
What's
God. What
what's
up?
going on, my brother? What's going
Man,
on?
peace and polygamy, man. It's always a joy, man. I appreciate the energy, God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Hey,
man, shit. And I was just finna flame up too. It's only right, man. I take a chief with the chief, man. Shout out to the chiefs, man, in the building. Peace to the gods, man. Get a peer review from you, bro. I got a few things I wanna a few questions. And hopefully, we don't take up too much time because you know how we
yeah,
go, right?
I know. That's why I be hesitant sometimes to bring you up because I be trying to help many people, but I know how we do.
For sure, for sure. All right, so look, let's get to it. Um, I need a peer review from you from this lesson I did, on interdimensional beings. But I'll rather you just do the peer review last. And let's get to the questions though. So first question on time travel. So we know scientists can travel forward in time. Now, do you know if we can travel back in time? And if we can, how does that work?
The traveling back in time is easier than traveling forward. Traveling because you got something called memory that ties to collective memory. We call collective memory Akashic records because the name of the original organizing librarian of the Akashic records was the goddess Akasha. But all it is the access codes to the collective memory to see what happened in the past. You can remote view the past. And if you know enough of the past, you can see exactly what's going to materialize as it unfolds in the future. Because the future is the mirror of the past. Now that
Right.
we break in the cycle, we at the point where we can change the past and make a new future or become victimized by the past and doomed to repeat it.
Right, for sure. So definitely, I should have been more specific. So we knowing that the future and the past is merely just a thought. If I ask you what you do yesterday, we'll have to think. If I ask you what you're doing tomorrow, we will have to think. So the future and the past is merely just a thought. But however, like on a time travel forward into the future, like if you leave Earth at light speed and come back, you're gonna
Now
be
you're
younger than
talking
everybody on
moving
planet.
three dimensional reality from past to future.
Right. So
That's what you're describing, right?
hold
Like
on,
your
say it again.
physical body right now, get into a craft, fly to the past, fly to the future.
Exactly.
Right. So every time when you walk to the store, every time you take a step, you step one step into the future.
Mm-hmm. What about the past?
You still got one foot in the past until you move that foot to the future.
Okay. All right.
They
Okay.
call
That
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 the
there
steps
you
of
go right there.
the steps of the grand man.
Mm,
It's the perpetual now masquerading as past and future because
mm-hmm.
none of it really exists. The paradigm of three-dimensional time travel is predicated upon the reality that you time traveling in real time,
Right. Time is an
right?
illusion, though, right?
Right. All it
Okay.
is a focal point. The focal point is required in order for three-dimensional reality to give us three-dimensional reality. When you
Okay.
step in the fourth dimension, there's no such thing as time. Everything is instantaneous now.
Mm,
But people can't grasp the mental ability of the difference because we are limited in the 3D to thinking three dimensionally.
facts.
So when we try to explain what it's like being fourth, fifth dimensional minded, living in those realities, the only reference point you have is three dimensional reality.
Right. Okay. For sure. Because we
Right.
can't perceive reality in higher dimensions.
You can perceive it, you can experience it, right? But as long as you using three dimensions as your frame of reference, it's still
Logic.
gonna
Okay.
it's still gonna look like you in the three dimensions.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Earth is going
Got.
into the fifth dimension, flipping out of the infinity loop, right? And going to the fifth dimension, the age of knowing, um, you are still going to have three-dimensional reality because three-dimensional reality is the backdrop by which the higher realms play out on. It's like
Okay.
they projecting three-dimensional reality. But to us, they watching a movie, right? But to us, we the characters in the movie, we reeled in the mofo.
Mm-hmm.
But to them, we just
Right.
projections on the screen,
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah, that's
right?
deep.
That's now you have to have one dimensional base in order for three dimensions to work. Then you need a cross section, a mobile cross section that's scanning left to right. Then you
Well,
need a fixed
that
position projection. The fixed
that mo-
position.
that cross position would be like. Would you consider that as a tesseract? Because we know that to go into higher dimensions, a
Hold on, I'm about to
tesseract
tell you
must
what
be
it is.
added.
Hold on, I'm about to tell you what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So now, once you have the left right variable covered, you need the fixed position point as a light source to illuminate everything that's being seen. It's called a hologram projector
Mm-hmm.
in three dimensions. But
Right.
outside of the three dimensions, it is the three dimensions is what's making the hologram stand out based on the one dimensional base.
Right.
This is why
Okay.
they keep saying that the earth is flat because they looking at the three-dimensional world from a fourth dimensional mind. In the mind, in the fourth dimension, the earth is an infinite plane.
Mm-hmm.
And if you seeing it mentally, spiritually, you don't know how to explain to people that everybody is right. It's not only is it a flat earth in the fourth dimension, it's an infinite plane. But in the
Right.
three dimension, it's a torsion field that gives the illusion of a globe
Mm.
in the
Kind of like
projection and the accumulation of the energy, right?
right. Kind of
And
like in
everybody's,
quantum mechanics when they got superposition, when everything can exist in multiple states simultaneously. Until we observe it, then we collapse the wave function into a single state. Kind of
yes,
like that, right? Okay.
yeah.
Super.
So when they see in the fourth dimension, they see it in its waveform. But when it
Mm.
collapses to three dimension, it becomes the torsion field that's collapsing into the particle.
Right. Okay. So look, before we get too deep, and I know we on time. Man, I wanted to get your, I wanted to get your perspective on deja vu, and sigils as well. But I really want you to peer review this lesson I just did on interdimensional beings. Now, real quick, just a brief on the lesson. Um, Starting off with the living and the dead is in the same space, but separated by dimension. And you was explaining something about to old girl that just left off your panel, about the daemon. You brought it up, which goes into, you feel the lesson. So basically, explaining interdimensional beings don't come from outer space. They come from this space, another dimension. So the daemon is
Thought form.
constellations up above, and as
It's a
above,
thought
so
form.
below.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
It's a thought form, right? It's a persistent thought form, an egregore. It's an agreed upon aberration that has to be corrected. That's the daemon. It's like you brought up sigils. A sigil is like writing an app, a spiritual app to operate from while you going about your day-to-day life. right?
Okay.
So sigil magic, it can be so powerful because of the way that you put it together. It's your own personal inner dialogue with your own
Yep.
spiritual self.
That's
And
what
you
chaos
can,
magic is. Chaos magic.
yeah, well, chaos magic is the magic that works to perform the function we using that. If it don't work, we can't use it. That's the principle of chaos magic.
Mm.
All magic applies because all magic is applicable. It's chaotic because there's so many different fields of thought to choose
Right.
from. The
You take your
difficulty
own
come
individual
in.
approach to it, though.
This is what they
Okay.
call the middle pillar exercise. Is Israel regarding Golden Dawn, right?
Okay. So would you have any pushback when I say interdimensional beings are demons? And when I say a demon, the angel and the demon is one and the same, both of them being a daemon. And a daemon ain't necessarily an evil thing. So the
So
crux of the lesson was interdimensional beings are not extraterrestrials. They're the daemon. Would you have pushback on that, bro? And if
the
so, let me know why I'm in error.
okay. So again, a daemon is a thought form, an egregore, an agreed upon malady, and as long as you use it, it's gonna be there. It doesn't have a physical incarnation, but people with a physical incarnation can use it the same way they can use a sigil,
Hmm.
right?
So is the
That's what
interdimensional being a thought
no,
form?
it's no interdimensional
Okay.
being is you because you're able to live in the 3D. That's one dimension. You think in the 4D. That's fourth
Mm,
dimension. You spiritually develop in the 5D. That's fifth dimension. You are multi-dimensional now,
mm-hmm. Okay.
right? So you walking around, you don't even know the dimensions you accessing because you so concentrated on the third. All of your mental faculties is blocking your spiritual senses, what we call psychic abilities. As an airbender, it's the air.
Mm-hmm.
The demon is the air for you because
Mm,
you can use it,
mm.
using the power of your will, your mind, and your own inner energy,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can
That's deep
project
right
your
there.
energy out to affect the air. You be controlling the air the same as you control the demon,
Mm-hmm.
right?
That's
And
deep right there, man. That's
until
deep. How?
somebody define the demon, he doesn't exist.
Mm,
Now that's different from devil. Devil literally means adversary, opponent, enemy. Anybody can be your devil if they against your highest good,
mm.
right? And that don't make them a bad person. They just the devil for you.
Right.
It's that girl when you was in high school you swore you was in love with, and your mama kept telling you, boy, you ain't in love. You pussy whoop,
Mm-hmm. Your mama
right?
was your demon at that time.
Hey, but she was being used for your highest good. So she wouldn't have been your demon. She would have been your angelic.
Oh, okay, your angel for sure. But look, I was saying like you would see an angel and a demon is one that's in the same, both being the daemon, meaning the daemon is an entity that's assigned to a person's soul at birth, and it can always be identified by a particular cluster of stars, the constellations. Now, depending on if the daemon
That's
is in
not
the
a
northern
demon.
hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, will determine if it's an angel or a demon.
No, no,
So,
no, no.
but we might see an angel. People may view an angel as, you feel me, punishing a man, and they say, "Yo, that demon attacking that man," and you might see an angel. I mean, a demon giving a man everything he desire, and we say that's that man angel because it's one and the same, right?
Perception.
For sure, for sure.
Perception.
Hey, I'll
Perception
go ahead.
dominates the interpretation of how the mind perceives a thing. Everybody not supposed to see everything the same way, or else we all be fucking confused.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have no pushback paradigm in which to analyze what we're talking about. The problem that we run into most of the time is the definition and the origins of words and original meanings
Mm-hmm.
versus the rhetoric attached to the word in interpretation in modern times when the word is not a modern word,
Right.
right? And it's
But
not.
and we get caught
It's
up on single words, not and missing the point. If I understand the point you was making, I ain't even finna try to debate you on what this word mean. I understand the point. So that's what
right.
communication skills come at, and social and emotional intelligence.
Yeah, that's at an all-time low in our society.
For sure, for
Emotional
sure. Hey, so
intelligence. Everybody emotional intelligence is 6 years old. The
mm,
intellectual development is 6 years old because the
mm,
start of elementary is when this arrested development is initiated. Kindergarten is 5, preparation for what? The brainwashing to decompress you. What they call that in the Alcoholics Anonymous? That they have to detox you
mm,
from critical thinking and practical problem solving and abstract analysis. So they try to control it by teaching you linear left brain logic. And instead of giving you the ability to critically think, they give you the tools to misanalyze the world around you so that they can have control because they understand what you don't, right?
mm-hmm,
So when we go back to the definitions of what a word means, and then we get to see the dogma attached to the word over time. That's why etymology is important. So as we see the dogma attached, then we get to see how we refine our thought process of what we're looking at. All it is just tightening up your telescope,
mm. Yeah, that's
zooming in
deep,
your
man.
lens.
Well, shit, we got time for one more, or shit. I know you probably got a lot full of people trying to come up.
Yeah, it's a few. Yeah, it's got. Yeah, let me take somebody else because me and you be on here. You know how we
Man,
do.
hey,
We
for
got a
sure.
history of it.
You already know, man. Much love. I appreciate the energy, bro. Peace to the
All right,
gods, yo.
peace to the gods.
You know it for sure.
High priestess, come on up. Cheifin with the chief.
Greetings, Rod. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on? What you want to talk about?
So I was trying to comment on here where it was saying, dementia, when he was saying time traveling, I call it Alzheimer's. You know how you was just saying something about the definition? Once you put the word or connect whichever word with whatever, I was like, okay, so dimension with dementia. You know how you got people with dementia. Then you got people who they wake up thinking they're in the 1960s, but in reality in 2025, but that's called, Alzheimer's because they're traveling in between. That's how I put stuff together in perspective, especially when it comes to amnesia. When I have seizures, I have what they call a relapse of amnesia. Okay, I'm in Miami, and for me, I'm like, okay, it's 10, but in reality, I'm in 2025. But my brain is saying right now I have traveled back to 2020, 2009 or whatever the case may be. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're saying these things, that's how I connect it because I'm like, okay, I'm experiencing this. Not only that, you already know I'm a seer. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And this is how I'm able to predict some of the things that I predict and why the things come to pass because I'm able to somehow do that relapse that happens to me in my seizures or whatever this is that they call seizures, which I'm still trying to get that name, which I wanted to ask you that.
To
What is the
season, So the word seizure comes from the root word seize, which means to capture something.
Mhm.
And what it's referring to in the brain when you having a seizure, you having a rapid firing and misfiring of neurons,
Mhm.
which causes an electromagnetic response in your central nervous system.
Mhm.
And when it does this, you have a control center at the base of the brain. When it starts misfiring, it shuts off all of your um, regular functions an attempt to protect your central nervous system from overload, right? While that's happening, you don't have any control now. So the neurons firing is sending electrical currents at an erratic rate throughout your central nervous system, causing your body to, as they say, seize up, to,
Mhm.
right? So you have what they call petit mal and grand mal. Petit mal can be so mild as to go through a mild hallucination like experience. But a
Mhm.
grand mal, you flopping around like a fish choking on your tongue,
That's right.
right? So
Mhm.
the difference is the amount of current that's being shot through your system at one
Yes.
time. The stroke is very similar, but is normally preempted by a rupture in the blood vessel in the brain or an
Mhm.
exploding neuron, which
Okay,
happens from
so
overload.
explain this. They saying that like right now, recently when I had my seizure, they saying that somehow the seizure stopped the stroke. What does that mean?
So the stroke is the shutting down of the neurons. The
Okay.
seizure is the acceleration of the neurons.
Mhm.
So the seizure kept the ones that was starting to turn off, stroke out, overcharged them like jumping the dead battery
Yes.
to
Yes.
override the symptoms of the stroke. So the stroke
Yes.
never takes place.
Exactly. Because it didn't take place. I kind of got a tap of it, but it was not enough once the seizures tapped in. But this happens to me every time I have a seizure. I wake up, but I'm not in 2025. I'm in a whole different year. And
Right.
that's every time. Every time I have a seizure, like if I have a seizure today, okay, now I'm waking up to 1999. Next time I have a seizure, I'm waking, so I'm thinking, okay, is my body time traveling or doing something in the midst of that? Because why?
So
Or is
look
it
at it like
something
this.
showing me something? Yeah.
So look at your timeline as a roll of film.
Yes.
When you have a seizure, the roll of
Hmm.
film get erratic.
Yes.
So when you reset the film, it might not be on the same place you at.
Yes.
So because the film is digital, you can eventually you'll jump back to the right timeline. But it's just the focus of your attention and concentration that's locked in on the prior timeline. But when you start looking around and realizing that the timeline has already passed, you can come
Yes.
back to the current timeline.
And that's what happens every time. Every time, like in the way that happens with me, I go to sleep. You know how after you have a seizure, they say it makes you exhausted. So I go
Mhm.
to sleep, then I somehow everything regroups itself back to its original form, and then I wake up back on 2025. That's what happens.
It's
And
like
they said,
it's like turning the computer off, turning it back on.
yeah. So that's and now the last time, the first one that I had before this last one, I stayed with non-memory or going back and forth trying to understand, okay, where am I? What was going on? What's this? What's that? But that lasted 3 days. I couldn't come back for some reason. And the reason why I felt like I couldn't come back because I needed to see something at the time that I must have not saw then in those years or whatever, and then bring it back.
Okay,
That's
so
that's what I feel.
you being a seer, because you already then posted 1,000 prophecies that then came true already.
That's
So
right.
we know you're a seer. So what's going on in the psyche of the seer, right?
Yeah. Yes.
In order for you to tell the future, you need something to give you a description that's already there, a frame of reference.
Hmm.
When you put yourself in that situation, when you get locked back in the prior timeline, you going through all of your five senses of what you was going through then, and then you using that as the comparison to the current energy you feeling, so you can translate it and put it into a prophetic descriptive analysis for 3D
Sure.
people to perceive.
That's right.
So you becoming the translator, and you using your vessel as a jumper ship
That's it.
of energy, where you can
That's
flip
right.
back and forth from back then to tell them the energy you reading now, and based on how you feel about what you perceiving, then this is what normally it means. This is how I'm translating it so y'all can understand what I'm sensing.
That's right. That's right.
Right? Once you tell them what you sensing, it comes out in the words, because now you translating your spiritual message into the written word in the 3D realm. By putting it in the two dimension, you give it a backdrop for other people to use as a frame of reference.
And then that's where that scripture comes in, not going religious here, where it says, and then the word becomes flesh, where when I speak this stuff, then it becomes reality.
Yeah.
The prophecy
But it
becomes
was
its
it was gonna
reality.
happen anyway. You a
Hmm.
warner,
Yes.
right? So you gotta warn people about what to prepare for. But you need the energy already there. That's what you read. The
That's
energy
right.
comes before the event.
Hmm. Hmm.
The time that you tell it and the time of the event is called turnaround time.
Yes.
You experience the energy before we physically see the event.
Yes.
So now you having to experience the future in the present, you time travel. But now you have to go back to the past to get you a codex so you
Hmm.
can put it in words for other people to understand. So
Hmm.
your system sees up and override, knock you back into 2010.
That's right, 'cause that's what it does all the time. It just knocks me. Now I'm coming
Now,
back and I'm
when you,
coming stronger with my visions and I'm seeing this stuff like in
yeah,
real time.
okay,
Like
now,
right now, the
when you go
plague.
back to 2020, 2010, you already lived through that time period.
Yes.
But while you there, you remembering all of the sensations that you felt, and you looking at all of the events that happened during the general time frame.
Yes.
Now you can come back to 2025 and type it out on Facebook as a warning. This is what this means. So you're using your past to translate what you are perceiving is about to manifest in the 3D in the future.
That's right.
That's actual time travel in real time.
Yes. So that's what I was trying to understand because when you were explaining that to the brother, I was like, okay, well then this is what this mean here with the dad. So I'm like, yeah, I gotta get him to express this one for me, because I'm seeing and it's like it's got stronger, it's got more powerful. Like the plagues, I've been warning people, hey, gather some water,
Yeah,
do this, do that. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And now
You
they're
warned us.
talking about plagues.
Listen, you warned us about all these floods, these
Yes.
volcanoes, these
Mhm.
earthquakes, these
Yes.
floods. Um, you warned us about all that stuff before it happened. In a
Train
reasonable amount
derailment.
of yeah, in a reasonable enough amount of time to know that that shit is tied together. That means you actually see what the fuck you see.
Yes. Yeah, and then that people has tried me because they're like, well, she can only predict, like she's only earthly rooted. But then I had to go ahead and show them, okay, well, it's not just natural disasters. I see train derailments and boom, that happened. Bridges dropping, all type earthquakes and stuff like that, back to back. Like right now, I spoke about plagues, plaguey waters. It's flesh-eating bacteria right here in Florida. There was a person that just got bit by some type of bug out in some lake in Lake Tahoe, and it's a plague. This is stuff that I'm talking about in real time and it's just happening. You know what I'm saying? So, but I had to get a little bit more knowledge or understanding as to these seizures and why, because I'm like, okay, what does this mean? And I needed that clarification. So I give you thanks. I know you got other people that want to get on here, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But much love. Mary is asleep. If not, she would have been in here looking for her
Oh, I
uncle.
already know.
You know what I'm saying? But listen, it is what it is. I'm still
Hey,
gonna keep doing what I
put
do.
put your page in the comments so I can pin it because
Uh,
people want to check out your page.
sacred, secret, sacred.
Just type it in the comments. I'm gonna pin it.
Okay. One of my brothers on here that follows me, he put it already on there. Wait.
Evolve Family Truth.
Uh-huh. He put it on there already for me.
Okay, I just pinned it.
But
Up in
yeah,
there.
yeah, so that's what's going on, you know what I'm saying? But to everybody, whoever's listening, just be careful with the waters right now. It's not the best thing to be out there right now in this water, especially with these hurricanes and stuff, But I am High Priestess Christina Vargas. I'm a seer. Rod Hayes, my brother. You know what I'm saying? And I do what I do, for the love of the people, but to, be a part of this whatever it is the spirit got me going doing out here, you feel me? But I love y'all. Y'all take care and Godspeed. Love you, bro.
Okay, sweetie. I'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you. All right, bye-bye.
Sauce V Tone. Come on up, my brother. Let's see what you want to talk about. Cheifin with the chief. Why the chief be chiefin'?
Yo,
Yo, yo, yo, peace, comrade.
what's up, brother? My name Tone. Nah, I had a crazy experience when I was
What's wrong
a
with your
child.
camera?
Nothing wrong with my camera. I just look crazy right now. A lot of you.
You look at me.
Hold on, let me.
Come on, look crazy. It's my Rod the Madman character.
Hold on. My foot. You can see me right now?
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah. Um. I
I
remember
love
when
it, my man. I love
I remember
it.
when I was a shorty. I was a kid. I was in Dominican Republic. I can hear you. Um. Yeah. So when I was a kid, my grandma had pointed out uh a black butterfly, and I was the only one that noticed it inside the house, and she was like, somebody's gonna die. And then when that person had passed away, everybody went to that house, and there was like some type of funeral thing going on. I walked in through the wrong room. I mean, through the wrong door, and then they were saying that they was casting like some type of spell out this woman.
You mean to say it again?
right? So like when I walked through that door, I had felt like a crazy energy, but I had like skipped it off because I was young. I just went back home and I was like, that shit about nothing. And then like now that I got older and shit, and I started like doing my insight on certain things, I felt like that became the reason why I was the black sheep in my family because everybody in my family believes in God and all that, and it's like part of Dominican tradition and stuff. But I got a lot of questions. Like
Mhm. Okay, let's start with the questions. What's the first question?
because it's like repeating itself. I don't understand why.
You said you had some questions. I
My
said let's
question
start with
is, what was the point of me seeing that black butterfly? Because I heard about the black butterfly death and all that stuff.
so listen, you got different cultural phenomena surrounding the butterfly. The butterfly is the quintessential symbol for transformation. The When the auntie or grandma predicted the death, it's because when she seen the butterfly, she got a feeling.
Mm,
The transformation was coming in the form of somebody's physical transition from 3D to higher realms, right? Because when you're not in the three-dimensional body, you're in the higher realms, right? So she got a feeling that told her it was the death of a person, but she could have very well seen the black butterfly, the same black butterfly. Had it elicited another feeling, she would have interpreted a different transformation of something.
mm,
But she matched it with the feeling. It wasn't the butterfly alone. Because in all cultures, the butterfly is the metamorphosis from the caterpillar to the butterfly is the great transformation of the soul.
okay. Yeah, that was my question, Chief. Thank you. I'm not gonna take up all your time. I'm gonna let you do your thing. All right. I
All
appreciate it.
right. Yes, yes. G thing, 999. You next up on Chiefing with the Chief. Come on through. Hey, you must fell asleep watching. Yeah, we don't want to watch nobody sleep. Got the big chief coming through. Next contestant on Chiefing with the Chief. Peace, my
Peace,
brother.
my brother. Raw peace.
What's going on with you?
It's going good. I'm talking to you again, finally. What's
Oh
up, Chief?
yeah.
Hey, I've been going through it, but hey, I'm chilling.
For
Hey,
sure, for
how?
sure.
What's
What's
up?
on your mind today? Welcome to Chiefing with the Chief.
What's up with the tree of life? The tree of life that's going on with the world, like and the symbolic of the symbology of the cabal, like the tree of life. What's going on with it?
What you mean? What's going on with it?
Like the end,
It's
like how they
life.
said it. How, yeah, it's life, and ain't it right? Yeah, yeah.
Look.
Like how.
Excuse me. Woo.
That's it.
Now that's Cheifin.
Yeah, that's Cheifin. That's Cheifin right there. You
Okay,
smoking
so
with
look.
one the ones I stopped smoking, I
Excuse me. Woo.
that's it.
Now that's Cheifin.
Yeah, that's Cheifin. That's Cheifin right there. You
Okay,
smoking
so
with
look.
one the ones I stopped smoking, I finally put it down. I got only a little tobacco, but I stopped smoking. I did better. I've been clean for 6 months now.
Okay, so look. Everything you see around you has what's called a sphere of understanding.
Mm-hmm.
You can only assimilate the part of the sphere you can understand. So when you're looking at everything playing out, unified field theory, all things are connected throughout the universe. So if all
Mm-hmm.
things is connected and you draw the parallel from the tree of life to the rollout of life happening, shows you the reflection one of the other. You get it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it.
So when you looking at what's playing out in the world as part of the tree of life, then you saying you perceive it deeper than regular people.
Mm-hmm. Receive it definitely deeper. I get it's more in tune because the it started on me sitting. It's deep. It's deeply in tune. Definitely. How about the rollout that they doing in Chicago now? They doing in Chicago now with the police.
Well, you gotta remember, we can't get rid of the police without the National Guard coming out first. Because
Right.
we socially train like wild animals, um, that police need to be in the neighborhood. The
I'm
police
on a lot.
haven't been the police haven't saturated the neighborhood policing.
Mm-hmm.
The more police they get, the higher the crime rate. Let that sink in.
Mm. That's wow. Well,
Every time they make a new law, they hire 1,000 police. They got to use the law to make criminals in order to make an excuse to make people slaves. We socially conditioned, so we don't see broader concepts because if we was taught to see broader concepts, it would break the social conditioning. And this is why you see a lot of us now, regular people that didn't fit in the box, coming out talking about broader concepts, deeper ways of looking into things, simplified for the people who didn't have the opportunity to do the investigation. And then because you can explain it in simplified terms, they can grasp the concept better, which allows them to open their mind, and then they become inquisitive to add to their conscious understanding everything they understand subconsciously.
okay, okay, yeah, I understand that. Yes, sir. I don't have too much questions for you tonight. I just hopping on here. Just I love chiefing with the chief. You know how I get.
For
I
sure, for
ain't
sure.
smoking a minute, but I ain't smoking a minute. But I still love checking in with you, folks.
For
Okay.
sure, man. We chop it up again.
Oh, for sure.
All right, I'm gonna let somebody else up.
Part one.
You want- Let's that 59. Miss Green. Next contestant, chiefing with the chief. Give you a couple more seconds to log on, then I'm gonna go to the next person. Miss Katrina Presley, step right on up with Cheifin with the Chief. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, you know me.
So
Just
good,
Cheifin.
so good to see you. Let me turn this.
Welcome to Cheifin with the Chief. How can we help you today?
Well, I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
I can't tell you. I don't know what's going on with me, but let's see so you can see me. I got too many lights on in the kitchen. All right, Rod. You know I'm a property manager. I'm in real estate, right? You know that about me.
Mm-hmm.
So I see people every day, and we having a little troubles right now with people paying their rent. Anyway, a fella came in. And people come see me all the time, but this fella came in and I promise you, I saw his whole life in front of me. Now I've been able to do this since I was 9 years old, but I shut my mouth. I don't say anything because mama tell you, you being grown, and because I'll ask questions. It slipped the other day. I told this man about himself when he came in talking about he couldn't pay his rent. And then when I gave him a hug, I felt his heart. His heartbeat stayed on me for about 2 minutes. I had to go sage in my office. I felt his heartbeat. But what I saw was when he was about 7 or 8 years old, something real traumatic happened to him. It about scared me. He was like, there ain't no way you should have known that. And then when I told him I had seen this little girl, I had to excuse my assistant manager out of the office and I said, listen, I am not a witch, but I am a witch. But I couldn't tell him I'm a witch. I'm over here working for these folks, trying to take care of these people. But I promise you, if I get too close to them now, I just tell them. I can't keep my mouth shut no more. I cannot keep my mouth shut. I think it's about time for me to come on home.
Sometimes you ain't supposed to keep your mouth shut, but you're supposed to know when you need to STFU. It's a time for both.
Yeah,
In the face of injustice, don't shut up. But if
yeah,
the justice delivers some gloom and doom, it ain't necessary.
yeah,
Unless you can add some kind of probative value to it, like a healing return based on it.
Well, at the end of that conversation, it was for me to tell him to stay and not go back to Virginia because he wouldn't make it if he would have left. He had open heart surgery. He had a tooth pulled and it had infection, and he ended up he thought he had the flu, but it was actually where they pulled his tooth. He had a gold tooth and
Hmm.
pulled it and put in, I guess they were putting a crown in. I'm not sure exactly what he was
Yeah,
explaining.
a lot of elders die from tooth infections.
Yeah, so he had to have his aorta emergency surgery on that due to having his tooth pulled. But yeah, I do. I have learned. I guess I'm just getting older now, where these kids come in my office, and that's another question I have for you. My warrior spirit, and that's what I was in my former life. I actually rode horses. I was shot off a horse, probably in the 1800s or so. But I remember it just as well. I got shot in my right shoulder and I came off the horse. But I am a warrior princess. And there's times when that warrior spirit comes up in me and
Okay.
versus my heart chakra. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
But
like,
there's so the warrior spirit has levels.
mm,
It's the same as in the military. The lowest level is the soldier to just follow the instructions.
mm-hmm,
But the highest level is the general that's in the war room developing the strategy,
mm-hmm.
right? Don't make either one of them less of a warrior. They just at different levels. Above the soldiers, you got the sergeant, then the captain, then a lieutenant, then you got the general,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's a trickle down because everybody don't make it to the top.
I never rode horses though with a troop. It was almost like they sent me out on missions.
That's totally possible, right? But we're talking about the warrior spirit. If you
Mm,
know what to do with it, you can always use it to your greatest advantage. The goal is don't stay the soldier to the spirit, become its general so that you can willingly use it for the benefit of the most. When you have those flashback memories, it's letting you know what you made of.
mm-hmm.
Now you need to know what is the greatest use for it. Don't be the soldier to it, be the general.
Yeah, and
And
most
carry
of
yourself like the general.
yeah, that because I'm totally able to keep my soldier self intact. It's when I
But
start
it's
going,
not just keeping it under control. It's the strategy and the development of strategy in the war room. It's the understanding of seeing the entirety of the battlefield, right, from a remote location in order to map out the proper course to victory.
mm,
The victory in your life don't look like my victory in my life.
mm-hmm.
And only you are the general with the warrior spirit to fight for the victory is yours. You have to structure that by becoming the general so you can control it and it won't control you. And you can capitalize off all of the benefits that come along with the gift.
So it's like a double-edged sword for me because I can see people, right? And I know the ones that need to be slayed. So that's when I have to either have to decide who I'm going to be in this battle if I'm being called up to the battle. And a lot of times the battle doesn't have anything to do with me. It's somebody else.
Okay,
You know,
now, as a general, that part of the battle that's taking place, what consequence do it have to the outcome of the war you fight?
I fight it in the spirit realm.
Right. But you got to isolate the things that's not part of your fight.
Hmm.
Right. So if that's something for you to recognize, don't mean it's something for you to expose. Everything spirit tell you ain't for everybody else.
Hmm.
Some stuff is just for you to be aware of your surroundings.
Right. Head on
Right.
the.
So it's like you walk into a room and you feel funny, you look around and you got somebody looking at you crazy. You felt it. The
Hmm.
spirit let you know it was there. Now that you know it's there, it's up to you whether you stay, leave, or whatever you do. You can make a now an informed decision when before you wasn't informed that it was somebody with malice in their heart in the building.
Yeah. So when it comes to me, though, when they bring that fight to me, I'm not always willing to back down.
Sometimes you can't, but you
Yeah.
have to choose your battles wisely.
Mm-hmm.
You know of the a Punic victory when you
Mm-mm.
fight one war so hard and become victorious, but you depleted your resources. So the next war you can't fight.
Yeah.
So you have to choose your battles wisely, right? That means don't overextend the resources on one war to the point where you can't come back from it to protect yourself from the next war.
Right. So, do you think what's being recognized in my spirit when I counsel or read people or what have you? Because they bring a lot of their battles to me. And then, of course,
Do they
what,
ask you for a reading?
oh, yeah.
If
Oh,
they
yeah.
ask you for a reading, you're supposed to tell them exactly what you see and
Okay.
let them figure it out.
Okay.
If they don't come for you for the information, you don't have to tell them nothing.
Okay. So, in those some situations, though, like that dude, I was like, do you mind if I ask you a question? And I'll ask the question and it leads to that. That's what I think you're telling me to back off because that ain't my fight. I wasn't given permission. My general in the spirit told me that a long time ago. If you're not given permission, then don't give the strategy.
If they don't ask the question, that means they ain't ready for the answer.
Yeah,
Right? And
yeah,
half the time they ask the question, they ain't ready for the answer until they get it.
right, right. I just see this. I see streamers all the time. I can see it. It's crazy. I can see if I sit in front of somebody long enough, I can walk the whole thing down and all the ancestors coming. I got corners full of folks.
But see, that's because you are an active seer.
Hmm.
You regularly using the faculty, which gives you greater and greater access to see more and more people's business. Now, you have to determine if you want to block out other folks' business or not, right? Because they got a right to privacy, and you got a right to grant them that right.
But you know,
You understand what I'm saying?
I'm from Atlanta, so I ain't gonna lie. I have to go listen to some trap music just to get off of that, because otherwise I'm out here working.
You don't have an off switch. You got to create your own off switch.
Yeah.
Do a ritual when you turn it off
Mm-hmm.
and go about your business. Then first it might be hard, but the more you use it, the more access control and the stronger it is. Where you can actually be able to see people without knowing all their business because you don't want to know. Tired of hearing all these other folks' stuff. You have to create the off switch. It's no
Mm-hmm.
off switch if you don't create it. You just start getting all this old random information about people that you care two drops of shit about.
Don't give a damn about.
You don't want their information, but because you are open channel that don't turn off and you get in proximity, you become the path of least resistance for their information.
Mm-hmm.
And nature always follows the path of least resistance. Man, the only one that fights uphill battles.
So you know how you say your give a fuck meter hadn't moved?
Hmm.
That's what I call myself turning myself off. But it seems that these folks be chasing me down. You know what I mean?
Okay, now that's a whole other animal. That's psychic self defense,
Okay.
right? So, um, the one I call an aura building exercise. When you stand up, you visualize your aura around you as an egg. And when you
Mm-hmm.
first see it, it's going to be very faint. But in your mind, you see yourself drawing spiritual protection energy into your aura. So as you seeing that happen, you seeing the aura become more dense and opaque.
Mm-hmm.
This is to block the bullshit, other folks' energy, right? The more you practice it, the stronger your auric repeller is to other people's energy. The only time where you'll get like a warning if somebody have an ill intent towards you, it
Mm-hmm.
will override that to inform you that there's an ill intention towards you, danger ahead. Other than that, any malice directed at you won't be able to affect you, but other people's energy, they psychic downloads coming through you, you will be able to control it better.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Sound good. Got some more work to do.
Yep. It'll never stop till you finish.
I know. I appreciate you so much. You're always so good at giving to us. I don't see how you turn it on and off, but you gave me some good advice. I'm sure you've had to walk in it yourself.
Yeah. I had to learn from experience to teach.
Right. I got one last question. Some of us that got married before we, woke up, um, I'm real good. My relationship is really good, but I do feel like sometimes, and I heard this the other day, that we won't be able to, I guess, graduate if we ain't with our so-called soulmate.
You said your relationship good, right?
My relationship good.
Okay.
My
The
boo,
rest of it don't. The rest of that shit don't got nothing to do with you.
yeah. I mean, he
Be
not spiritual.
grateful. Listen. Be grateful you got a good relationship.
Yes.
Maintenance that motherfucker. Pamper your counterpart so
Mm-hmm.
that motherfucker just can't resist pampering you, and all that other shit ain't got nothing to do with you.
Appreciate that. Kind of, I feel that. I know that. But I'm like, how people just get out here and tell you because, oh,
Can't
you
nobody tell you who your soulmate is but you.
exactly, exactly. We good. He takes good care of me. He don't understand this like how
You
I
don't
do.
gotta understand. You don't gotta understand everything. As long as he is attentive to your needs, his
Yeah.
understanding will come in time. You a nurturer and a teacher by nature.
Mm-hmm.
Be the woman in the house, nurture and teach. You don't understand it. Let me see if I can help explain it to you.
Right.
And we'll go over it until you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Make that into a game y'all play for some one-on-one time. Talk about stuff that's bigger than 3D life, concepts, great ideas,
Yeah, we do that.
right? Then the things that he don't understand, help him understand. That's the relationship glue being put into the union when y'all build on those type of things. Over
Yeah.
time, y'all don't even have to have a verbal conversation no more.
Mm-mm.
Everything you understand, he understand. Everything he understand, you understand. This is when they say y'all start looking alike.
Yeah. Yeah, he has told me before though, just like how you be reading them folks, I don't want you reading me every day.
Don't read them.
I don't. I
Don't read 'em.
don't.
Just because you
I,
can do it, don't mean that you have to do it.
oh yeah, he's a good man. He takes good care of me. He's a
The
great
rest of that shit don't even matter.
right, right,
What
right.
other folks got going on in their relationship ain't got nothing to do with you and yours.
Well, you know how some of these woke folks be talking on here
They
and got
diet woke. They low calorie. If they really woke, they can't tell you how to live your life.
right, right,
They can help guide you through the obstacles that you may face in your life, but they can't tell you who you're supposed to be with.
right.
Anybody come with that bullshit, they on some motherfucking slave master shit.
Mm-hmm.
You supposed to help people live their best life. You ain't probably supposed to micromanage somebody else's life and you can't even live your own life.
Right. No, he's my best friend.
There it is. Shit,
Hmm.
I'd be cooking a cupcake for 7 days in a row behind that one.
Yeah. Right. And he's an alpha male too. So I'm enjoying my soft girl era life. My soft life.
All them other people come talking about some relationship shit that don't have nothing to do with you. Yours fine.
Mm-hmm.
If it ain't broke, don't even try to fix it.
Yeah.
Just maintenance the good parts and make them hands. How you
Mm-hmm.
turn into heaven on earth? Shit, that's the juicy shit.
And we make plenty of music over this way in the juice.
Hmm.
It's the good stuff. And, I'm old enough to know that, but I just think that sometimes you got to say it. Folks need to just stop, putting their feelings on people about how a relationship should go. And if they not spiritually woke, then they ain't
Well, I'm still stuck on they talking about 50-50 when I thought relationship was honey. Cause
exactly.
we in this shit together, all in together, balls to the motherfucking wall, or we not finna do it.
Exactly. I live in a cardboard box with that man. So, absolutely.
So the understanding that relationships have been controlled by a control paradigm
Mm-hmm.
where they want to micromanage your household without being in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So they give you standards in the social construct under the pretense of it's supposed to be this way or this way, right? It's supposed to be how you say with the person you with.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all the ones got to make the agreement. If y'all go, this is you. When all your kids grown and leave, it's y'all two. When y'all parents dead and gone, it's y'all two.
Mm-hmm.
Against the fucking world.
Yeah.
So what 50-50? I gotta go in half on the bills. We working this shit out together. We pooling the resources and the bills gonna get paid as part of the pooled resource. Or else if we can't do it the right way, I don't want to do it.
That's exactly right. We empty nesters. We are. And it's
Mhm.
just in him and our little dog. And we moved
Shit,
to the,
go for walks, do fucking jazz dancing in the living room, move the table out the way.
we do.
Do have fun, enjoy yourself together. Shit. Don't let what other people talking about in their diet woke community tell you shit about no relationship when half of them single.
We do. But sometimes you move into these neighborhoods and, folks act like it's the first thing they want to ask you is what you do for a living. What,
I
this, that, and
live.
the other. Right. That's what I say.
I live for a living. What you do? But that's part of the new social bonding when you go from one place to another. We are identified by our job more than we identified by any other aspect of who we are.
Mm-hmm.
The type of work you do tells the people so much more about your personality and character.
Hmm.
So they always want to know, what do you do for a living? How do you make your money? Because that tells a lot about where a person's priority is in their mindset. It's not so much the job that they have, it's the mentality of the person that have that type of job,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you're in the blue collar neighborhood and you coming from the white collar world, they gonna look at you kind of side eye because they suspect of how you make your money. Whereas if you come move into a blue collar neighborhood and you blue collar, oh yeah, they want us. It's
Mm-hmm.
another form of tribing up vetting,
Right.
So that's a common question in the modern society because our jobs have become intricate parts of our identity.
Well, I think my neighbors wanted to know because they had flagpoles in this yard when we moved in, and they belonged to the subdivision. And I told them they're gonna have to. I told the HOA, you're gonna have to remove these flagpoles because I don't fly flags. Now, if you want to put a totem pole in this yard, that's fine, but we're not flying no flags. So I think that I may have rubbed them the wrong way. But I told my husband that's the only thing that I'm not gonna do is have no flags in my yard. So they end up moving them, but we got some backlash on it. So
Oh,
our neighbors Now they
Look,
know it.
long as they move, look, long as they move them up, fuck the backlash.
Yeah,
You,
yeah, yeah,
you, everybody ain't supposed to always agree on everything all the time, or
yeah,
life would be dull.
yeah.
Sometimes you need somebody to dissent to let you know you doing what you meant to do, and you following through with what you said. But
Yeah.
if ain't nobody dissenting, it's not really a focal point. So it's the same way when peaceful people congregate. There's always some a-hole come in to try
Hmm.
to disrupt the peace because the frequency is too peaceful. They
Yes.
can't handle it.
That's the problem. It's a lot of love and peace over this way. These folks can't handle it.
Cultivate that feng shui.
Right. Right.
All right, sweetie, I'm gonna let somebody else come up, okay?
Love you. Thank you. Have
Yeah.
a good one.
Okay, I'm gonna take one more, then I'm gonna answer the questions. Oh no, they didn't stop me from taking. So now I'm gonna take the questions I got. The Ottomans infiltrated an empire that was already in place in the Americas, then create the corporation. Who was running the empire in the Americas? The tribes. The tribes from America. I don't have many memories to look back on. I'm wondering if I felt with everything as it happened, so I don't really look back. Nadine Vaughn. Man, the archivist. What is the purpose and how do you interpret spiritual taps on the body? They feel like muscle jokes. Um, when you talk about spiritual taps, you talk about energy surges. And the energy surge can feel like muscle jolts. It could feel like somebody from externally zapped you like a static shock. It could be a tingling, a itching. It depends on how your body interprets the frequencies, how it'll manifest in the body as a spiritual tap, and then how well you can relate to it. Jay Warriak, I have a question about healing family karma. It's my understanding you can send the energy back. The energy have to be rejected, blocked, not necessarily sent back. You just so we talking about breaking generational curses. The energy is normally a bad habit that's passed down the family line, and all you got to do is don't indulge it, and that's breaking the curse. So, Beanie Man 67. I'm visiting my grand uncles and aunt for the first time in Michigan soon. I'm documenting while I'm in town. They are from Tennessee, and I'll be stopping there first to record as well. Do you have any advice on what kind of questions to ask? Ask about your family history as much as they can tell you, and let them go on autopilot after that. You know, get them tell you about each one of your they uncles and aunties they remember. Learn your family history. Focus on that because it's going to tell you about tribal patterns and what tribes move, how y'all family move. The imagination is the way that the mind creates something to focus the intention on. So, amount of questions, a couple statements in there that I didn't respond to. So Chief Balance 713 say, why do most of the chiefs that I encounter have an affinity with dogs and music? What's the connection there spiritually? I resonate with the bird clan. My tribal name is Nighthawk. So a lot of the chiefs, it's a legend in a lot of tribal traditions that says the great father walks across the sky with a black dog on his heels. And it's called the legend of the great father. And many of the chiefs used dogs in hunting rituals, and the dogs became part of the chief's um, energy. A lot of the guys that we call dog men is chief energy. And now the spiritual, or the first, you got to go to the stellar similarity. It's the Orion constellation with Sirius, the dog star, on his heels, is the great father and the black dog. You know, Earth, the mirror image, is the chief of the clan, which is the head of the family, with his dog, and that became customary over time. I think that's all the questions. Yep. All right. They won't let me take nobody else up. I'm about to wrap it up. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate y'all coming to Chief with the Chief one more time. I don't know when I'll be back, but this was for Pops. Big dude out the L. Hayes, my father. So, peace and love to the people. I hope y'all learned something today, and I hope I was able to help expand your consciousness. Peace and hair grease from the Middle East.